So, when does investing in a blind pool fund make sense? That's a question I'm often asked, and before I answer, just a quick reminder that these videos are for educational and entertainment purposes only and do not constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. It makes sense under three specific considerations. One is the fund manager and their track record in terms of performance, track record in terms of willingness and ability to communicate openly, frequently, and transparently. I actually covered that in a little bit more detail in one of my prior videos and articles, so you can enjoy those by visiting dbacapitalgroup.com or simply subscribing to my educational newsletter with the link below. Secondly, it would make sense to consider a blind pool fund if that fund manager has demonstrated that track record, and now the question of how they spend their time becomes an important one. Do they get bogged down into administrative duties, or will they lose on the ability to negotiate the best and optimal terms on a deal if they were to manage the fund on a flex basis or on a deal by deal basis? Ideally, their time will be their highest and best use, and their time will be best spent on curating the best deals possible, doing deep diligence on each and every one of them to minimize the downside and mitigate the risk and ensure optimal performance, as well as their ability to negotiate the most optimal deal terms with the individual syndicators or deal sponsors. Last but not least, even if you invest in a flex fund thinking, well, my ability to pick deal is the best deals is better than that of the fund manager, so if I only invest in, say, two of the five deals in their fund, I will do much better. But one thing to keep in mind is that if there is an event of duress, and say you invested in deal 1 and 2 and deal 4 goes through distress for some reason, where the limited partners sue the fund or the fund manager, the fund as a whole is impacted, and the fund manager as a whole will have liability, so they may have to take decisions that impact the fund as a whole. Of course, that scenario could apply to individual syndication deals as well, where the core sponsor may have to make some tough decision on a deal that's performing as a result of another deal in their portfolio that's in distress. But that is also something to keep into consideration as you are trying to make a decision on whether investing in a blind pool fund makes sense for you, and what are some key considerations to keep in mind when you make that decision. So I hope you found today's video helpful, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.